Last time the Penguins played the Colorado Avalanche, the Avalanche defeated the Penguins 6-2 back in December of 2024. Did the Penguins get even on Tuesday night in Denver, or was it a clean sweep for the Colorado Avalanche? It's time to find out. My name is Scott McGregor, and this is Penguins Postgame.
You're locked in to Penguins Hockey on the Sports for Beginners podcast. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins play here on the Sports for Beginners podcast. Hey, showcase scores! The bingo game is ready to roll. Welcome to Penguins Postgame. PPG for PGH. And you'd have to be here to believe it. Here is your host, Scott McGregor.
Welcome in, Penguins fans and Avalanche fans, to another great edition of Penguins Postgame. I am your host, Scott McGregor. And boy, was it a good one down in Denver. Well, maybe not for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but for the Colorado Avalanche, it was a good showing. And with that being said, let's get right down to business, starting with a look at our matchup in goal and our head coaches. We'll also take a look at our officiating crew as well. Our head coaches, here we go. You're about to find out who they are as we start to share the screen here. The head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins is Mike Sullivan, and he would send Alex Nedeljkovic to the net with Tristan Jarry in at backup for the Penguins if needed. Tristan Jarry in at backup. If needed. On the other side of the ice, it would be Scott Wedgwood, who would get the start for the Avalanche, with Mackenzie Blackwood in at backup if needed. For the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, who is Jared Bednar. So it's Scott Wedgwood versus Alex Nedeljkovic. Wedgwood in goal for the Avalanche. Nedeljkovic in goal for the Penguins. Officiating crew for this game: Trevor Hansen, Wes McCauley were the referees. Brandon Gillowitz and Travis Gillowitz also in there as our lines person or linesmen. We're going to go with linesmen. And if I said lions, I apologize for that. I meant to say linesmen. The officiating crew for referees is Trevor Hansen and Wes McCauley. This game started at 7:10 p.m. Mountain Time, 9:10 p.m. in our on the East Coast, I should say. And it was quite a game, but let's get to it. So before we take our first break of the show, let's dive right in to how this game between the Penguins and the Avalanche went down and finished at a final of 4-1 in favor of the Colorado Avalanche. No goals or penalties to speak of in the first period of play. So, our game summary breakdown kicks off in the second period of play as we move from the first period of play to the second period of play. And during that time, it only took Arturi Lehkonen 6 minutes and 36 seconds to get his 25th goal of the season and open the scoring for the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon picking up his 69th assist of the season. Cale Makar also picking up an assist. He also picks up an assist in this one. His 46th assist of the season. Colorado takes a 1-0 lead early on. A little bit later in the period, the Penguins answer the bell. But before we get to that, in the second period, the penalties include Sam Malensky, 2-minute minor for hooking against Emil Bemstrom at the 10-minute and 16-second mark of the period. At the 15-minute and 2-second mark of the second period, Devon Toews receives a 2-minute minor for holding against Sidney Crosby. So the Penguins will go to the game's first 2 power plays of the game, in which they were unsuccessful in scoring on either of their opportunities. More on that in the stats portion of the show in a little bit. But back to the goals. Rickard Rakell, knowing the game is 1-0 after it stayed 0-0 after 20 minutes of play. Penguins down by a goal. Let me go ahead and tie it with just about 2 minutes left in the second period of play. At the 18-minute and 4-second mark of the second period, in the last 2 minutes, Rickard Rakell picking up his 29th goal of the season. Brian Rust, the Rusty Razor, picking up his 26th assist of the season. Sidney Crosby picking up his 47th assist of the season. Penguins have tied the game up 18 minutes and 4 seconds into the second period. That is where we would remain at the end of 40 minutes of play. Third period rolls around, and this was an all Avalanche scoring portion. The only penalty called in this game went to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the third period, I should say, and that went to Anthony Buvarelli. he would receive a 2-minute minor for tripping against Logan O'Connor at the 14-minute and 23-second mark of the period. And the Avalanche, specifically Casey Mittelstadt, made him pay for it. So, you know that thing when you take a costly penalty and then the opponent is going to make you pay for it? This is exactly what that was. Casey Mittelstadt, 11th goal of the season for Mittelstadt, gives the Colorado Avalanche the lead. It's 2-1 on a PPG for COL. At the 15-minute and 51-second mark, a snapshot, a pretty wicked snapshot, by the way, from Casey Mittelstadt. Pretty wicked snapshot, by the way. But wow, that was quite a shot. Okay, moving on. Later in the period, between the 2-minute and last minute of the third period, I was going to say second period, but we're into the third period, Artturi Lehkonen picks up his second goal of the season and 22nd goal, I should say, of the game, 26th goal of the season. All by himself. It's an empty net goal, the first of 2 empty net goals. But at this point, the Penguins are down by 2 goals, 3-1. Oh, I should mention that Nathan MacKinnon, he had 2 assists, picking up assist number 1 and 69 of the season on the goal by Artturi Lehkonen, his first goal of the game and 25th of the season. In the second period, Valeri Nichushkin picking up his 7th assist of the season on the goal in the third period by Casey Mittelstadt on the power play at 15 minutes and 51 seconds. At 18 minutes and 52 seconds, Artturi Lehkonen picking up his 26th goal of the season, second goal of the evening. And Nedeljkovic has been pulled twice now. Get him out of there. But after another turnover at the 19-minute and 52-second mark of the period, Jack Drury scores his 7th goal of the season, Parker Kelly on the assist. For his 10th assist of the season, Parker Kelly. 10th assist of the season. The Avalanche defeat the Penguins 4-1 with 3 straight goals in the third, including that goal by Casey Mittelstadt to break the tie with 4 minutes and 9 seconds into the game. Third period. He broke the tie. Lehkonen scores twice as the Avalanche top the Penguins for 3rd straight win. Mittelstadt broke the tie on the power play with 4:09 left in the third period. And, oh geez, oh my goodness. Yeah, just hit the panic button. Just hit the panic button, everybody. Just hit that panic button. Slash that panic button as much as you want with Pittsburgh. I mean, when it comes to the lottery, for the draft lottery, maybe the Penguins have an opportunity to get a first round pick, which to me is not that bad. If we're going to get something out of it, let's at least get something out of it. All right. That'll break in our game summary, breakdown period by period. But to close it out here, as we're going to get into the shots on goal by period before we close it out here, and then get to the 3 stars of the game, the rest of the game stats also coming up next on the show, and our 3 stars of the game. 3 stars of the game, stats of the game coming up in just a moment after we take our first break of the program. But hit the panic button as much as you can. Hit the panic button as much as you can. We got a lot more to cover here on the show. I do want to get into the busy Tuesday night of action. Only 10 games on the slate on the Tuesday night. But for all those who are Catholic, I would like to wish you all, at the time of our recording, since we are recording this for a Tuesday night matchup between the Pens and the Avalanche, I would like to wish everyone who is Catholic a happy Ash Wednesday as we begin the season of Lent. And speaking of Lent, as this is an Ash Wednesday recording, I would like to know, what are you giving up for all those who are Catholics out there listening to the show? What are you giving up for Lent? I'd like to know. All right. Let's get to our shots on goal by period, and then we will get into the closing moments of our breakdown. That will get into our 3 stars of the game stats, and our play of the game. It's all coming up as we go along. But to close out this segment, here are your stats for the game on shots on goal. The Penguins outshot the Avalanche 12-8 at the end of the first 20 minutes of play. Add on another 12. Penguins still outshooting the Colorado Avalanche. They have 24. The Avalanche had 8 shots on goal in the first period. Add on 6 shots on goal. I should say 7 shots on goal. And they were trailing 24-15 in the shots on goal for the game after the second period of play. When you put 8, 7, and 10 together, Penguins outshot the Colorado Avalanche 33-25. As the Avalanche would finish with a shots on goal tally at the end of the game of 25 shots on goal. The Penguins would finish with 33 shots on goal. As we speak to you here, the Penguins have now lost 7 of their last 8 games. More on that as we roll into our stats. The rest of the stats, besides the 33-25 shots on goal tally, coming up when we return to Penguins postgame. Also coming up, What do the 3 stars look like? What's our play of the game? All that coming up next. This is Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey on Sports for Beginners, the podcast, and this is Penguins Postgame. It will continue in a moment. Stick with us.
Looking for a sports podcast that covers sports weekly as well as gets you set up for the day? Check out Weekly in Sports with me, Scott McGregor. We give some shout-outs of the week to podcasts like this one and those who do them. Discuss the Blue Jays, Bills, Raptors, and more. To learn more, check out the Sports for Beginners Facebook page. Search Sports for Beginners.
I wonder if I could make it. It's almost getting to 8 o'clock p.m., and I am still a few more steps away from home to get to my computer to listen to CNT Radio's Cosmopolitan Culture Club. The best of the best music from around the world. Can't wait! I think I made it! CNT Radio, making your day brighter, one song at a time.
CNT Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down. Nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on CNT Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on CNT Radio.
Penguins fall 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. My name is Scott McGregor. This is Penguins Postgame. 3 stars of the game coming up in just a few minutes from now. We also want to let you know that I do want to get into our Tuesday 10-game matchup in the NHL. So that look around coming your way as well. Also, no Bucks and Pucks for this one. We'll do that probably on our weekend show when we do the Golden Knights versus the Penguins. That comes your way Friday night. The game itself comes your way on Friday night. Our recap will come your way on Saturday as we prepare for the Minnesota Wild later. With that all being said, we'll get to the Tuesday matchups for you in a matter of moments. But that actually will come up during our Shake of the Game segment. Play of the Game is coming up in a little bit. And without wasting any more time, before we get into our 3 stars of the game, brought to you by on the Penguins Radio Network, Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Again, that is the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ford F-150 and SUVs of the brand Ford, the car dealership Ford in Pittsburgh, are the official trucks. They are the official vehicles, I should say, of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. The 3 stars of the game are coming up, but let's jump right into the matchup stats. Before we get there, This game saw 53 face-offs. Again, the Penguins outshooting the Colorado Avalanche 33-25. But again, this game, as far as the face-off dot goes, saw 53 face-offs. The Penguins won 56.6% of the face-offs, so just about 57% of the face-offs were won by the Penguins, winning 30 out of 53. The Penguins winning 30 out of 53 face-offs. The Colorado Avalanche winning 43.4% of their face-offs, just about 44%, maybe less than 44% of the face-offs won by Colorado. They won 23 out of 53 of the face-offs in the game on Tuesday night. The power play for the Penguins was 0 for 2 on the evening. They did not connect on any of their power play opportunities. So penalty kill for the Avalanche, perfect, 2 for 2. Speaking of being perfect, 0 for 1, the penalty kill for the Pittsburgh Penguins in this game. But that means the Colorado Avalanche were perfect on the power play. They score on the only opportunity they get. They go 1 for 1. So 0 for 2 for Pittsburgh on the power play, 1 for 1 for Colorado on the power play. The Colorado penalty kill is a perfect 2 for 2. 0 for 1, the Penguins on the penalty kill. And speaking of the Penguins, we'll wrap it up here before we get to the Avalanche stats there. The Penguins saw the penalty box for just 2 minutes. Only one penalty was taken. They had 8 hits in the game, were out-hit 12-8 in favor of the Avalanche. The Avalanche out-hit the Penguins 12-8. Avalanche spent 4 minutes in the penalty box. They also blocked 15 more shots, well actually 5 shots more than the Penguins did. They had 15 blocked shots. The Penguins had 10. 16 giveaways for the Avalanche and only 5 takeaways. For the Penguins, 15 giveaways and 6 takeaways. And those are your stats for this hockey game. So, now let's go ahead and share our screen because it's time for the segment that, as a disclaimer, we are not sponsored by. It is officially now time for that segment to kick off into high gear. It's the 3 stars of the game. They are brought to you by on the Penguins Radio Network. They are brought to you by your neighborhood Ford stores in Pittsburgh. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official trucks. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles, I should say, of the Pittsburgh Penguins. How's that for our powerhouse squad? We are not sponsored by that, but we are not sponsored by that sponsor for the Penguins Radio Network. But with that all being said, here come your 3 stars of the game. Again, they are brought to you by on the Penguins Radio Network that we are not sponsored by. They are brought to you by your neighborhood Ford stores. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are not sponsored by it, so here we go. Your 3rd star of the game went to Avalanche forward Arturi Lehkonen. 2 goals, 2 points, no assists. The 2nd star went to Avalanche forward Casey Mittelstadt. 1 goal, 1 point, no assist. And it's well deserved. It is well deserved. It's well deserved. I couldn't picture the 3 stars any best or I couldn't picture the 3 stars any better in this one, but if you have a difference in opinion, let me know in the Penguins post-game show Discord server. Penguins post-game show interactions on the Discord server, or send an email to sportsforbeginnerspodcast8231@gmail.com. But the first star went to Avalanche goaltender Scott Wedgwood. Goals against average of 1 and a save percentage of 970. Scott Wedgwood, Casey Middlestat, and Arturi Lakeuden, your 3 stars of the game. Have a difference in opinion? Send an email to sportsforbeginnerspodcast8231@gmail.com, or if you're on Discord, let us know in the Discord server under Penguins post-game show interactions. A link will be provided in the description of our episode, so make sure you check that out for yourself. All right, time now for the play of the game. The play of the game on the Penguins Radio Network is brought to you by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Follow the Penguins Radio Network on X. We're just going to call it X. I like to call it Twitter, but I'm going to call it X for now. Follow the Penguins Radio Network on Twitter at Penguins Live, or if you are following them, make sure to send a message to hashtag Penguins Live. That's where I can catch some of the out of market games on the Penguins NHL app, on the NHL app itself, or even on the iHeartRadio app. All 3 apps of these are available for free download, but you might need an account to do things like podcasting. So just keeping that to you. My play of the game, Phil Borg mentioned this when I actually stayed a little bit longer, not too long for the post-game show, Penguins Live post-game. But I did stay for the play of the game, brought to you by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination on the Penguins Radio Network. We are not sponsored by it, but I do agree with the old 2-9er Phil Borg. I think the play of the game belongs to the game. The goal that pretty much belongs to I think my play of the game would definitely belong to the guy who scored on the power play after a costly penalty. And it honestly was the difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and play that for you. Casey Middlestat scores on the power play to break the tie and give the Avalanche a 2-1 lead. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself here. So enjoy those who had the call on the Altitude Sports Network. All credit to Altitude Sports Network and, of course, the Colorado Avalanche, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the NHL. I will come back a little bit later because I noticed last time we did this that it was cutting in and out a little bit. So as I step away for a second, I will step back in before we move forward on this segment to bring you, and I say bring you, yes, bring you, my interpretation of this power play goal, which is good enough for my play of the game. For now, enjoy the men who had the call of the game. So much for just being a goal scorer here. Let's actually bring that back a bit. I want to actually take another look. I can see why this was not challenged, but let's take a look at it from right after the horn went off and we get to the replay here. Nice shot. Okay, here we go. Gonna take the sound off here for a second. Okay, so watch it here. This is a nice pass, and I like how everyone was able to stay on side. This is a nice pass, it looks like. And ooh, hold everything. Hold everything. Here comes a guy that's not onside yet. I like the pass here. It looks like it's a pass to the blue line, coming back down low. That's a nice pass by Nathan MacKinnon, and then Valeri Nichushkin, he's right in Alex Nedeljkovic's wheelhouse right here. If he can shoot the puck here, I know he doesn't, but if he can shoot the puck here, he's probably going to be stopped unless he can get it over Alex Nedeljkovic. And then you look at his little pass here. He finds Casey Mittelstadt all alone, and Mittelstadt's able to elevate it over Nedeljkovic for the goal. Here's a better look at it. Look at this here. So MacKinnon, Nichushkin, get him to the point where Nedeljkovic is about to make a move here. And then this pass here by Nichushkin on the stick of Casey Mittelstadt, and that's the game. That's the goal right there. This was clearly the difference. Here's a better look at the pass here. What a saucer pass by Valeri Nichushkin. What a saucer pass. And then the shot by Mittelstadt, able to go right up. Stick, glove side, it looks like, actually. Let me see here. Is it glove side? Oh, yep. High up glove side of Nedeljkovic, and it beats him. Yep, that one beats him right there. Yeah, so, and then here's another up close and personal thought here. Look at this here. Nice little pass. Tape to tape. And by Nedeljkovic for the goal. And then the celebration by Mittelstadt and the crew. All good to go. Wow. What a play. What a play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to take another break. When we come back, we'll get to the Tuesday wraparound of Penguins and Avalanche. We'll get to our Tuesday NHL recap. Bucks and Pucks comes your way next time on Penguins postgame. It won't come around on this episode, but still to come on Penguins postgame besides our Tuesday look around. We'll give you the action from Tuesday's look around. We'll give you a look at the 5 games on the slate today. It is time for the shake of the game when we return. And we will also let you guys know about our game puck of the game coming up in our final segment of the show, alongside what's next for the Avalanche, what's next for the Penguins. We won't share the screen, but I will provide it via my notes on my phone. And actually, now that I think about it, we'll do it via the NHL app. Download the app for yourself to follow your favorite hockey club all season long. As we get closer to the end of the month and not too many more games to be played, we will start limiting the next 5 to the next 3 or next 4 game nights. With that said and done, Penguins postgame, Penguins and Avalanche will continue in just a matter of moments. The shake of the game, NHL look around, plus a preview of the game puck of the game, all still coming up when we continue on Penguins postgame. Right after this, from Broadcast Map, our friends over at Take Another Look and On the Ice and Behind the Benches. Stick with us.
Looking for conversations on the world of broadcasting, sports media, and from time to time, my favorite sports teams? Listen to Broadcast Map with me, Ali Musa. To learn more about the show and to view the upcoming schedule, like the Broadcast Map Facebook page. Search Broadcast Map.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo, two powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
Looking for a good hockey podcast that covers your favorite hockey teams and mine? Check out On the Ice and Behind the Benches, where we chat about our favorite hockey teams from puck drop to the last play of the action. To learn more, follow the On the Ice and Behind the Benches Facebook page. Search On the Ice and Behind the Benches.
Welcome back to Penguins Postgame. Welcome back, everyone, to Penguins Postgame. Penguins fall 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. We're going to get into the shake of the game and the game puck of the game in just a matter of moments. But before we get down to it, as mentioned before the break, we also wanted to get into our hockey action from Tuesday night. We're going to kick off this segment doing so. 10 games on the slate. And minus ours, here are some of those games. The Boston Bruins defeat they fall 6-3 to the Nashville Predators. In Buffalo, the Sharks knock off the Buffalo Sabres 6-2. 6-2 the final between the Lightning and the Blue Jackets as the Lightning defeat the Blue Jackets 6-2. We also see the Hurricanes take down the Red Wings in the Motor City 2-1. 6-3 the final in Philadelphia as the Flames knock off the Flyers 6-3. 3-2 the Islanders defeat the Jets in Long Island. The Dallas Stars picking up a 4-3 win over the Devils. The Penguins will see the Devils in a 5-game homestand a little bit later this month. But they will see the Minnesota Wild, who were taking on the Seattle Kraken on Tuesday night. They will see the Minnesota Wild on Sunday. And with that said and done, the Wild actually defeated the Seattle Kraken 4-3. Meanwhile, besides Penguins falling 4-1 to the Avalanche in Denver, the Oilers fell 6-2 The Oilers fell 6-2 to the Anaheim Ducks. And that is your Tuesday lineup of scores. Not too many big finals in Tuesday's action, but 10 games on the slate. Quickly here before we get to the shake of the game, and of course the game puck of the game. We're previewing that for you for this segment, as that will be coming up later. Let's quickly get to, as of today, our 5 matchups on this Wednesday, as we are recording this on a Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, which is also for the Catholics in the Catholic Church. It is also Ash Wednesday. And I'd hasten to add my question that I said earlier. I'd like to know from all the Catholics listening to the show, what are you giving up for Lent this year, this Lenten season? While you take some time to think about it, here we go with our Wednesday lineup of matchups. The action all kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight as the Capitals take on the Rangers in the Windy City, and this can be seen on Sportsnet as part of Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey. The Ottawa Senators are taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. That is our 7:30 p.m. slate of games. 2 games at 10:30 p.m. Eastern tonight as the Vancouver Canucks host the Anaheim Ducks. And the Los Angeles Kings are hosting the St. Louis Blues. Our only game at 10 p.m. tonight is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Vegas Golden Knights. That comes your way at 10 p.m. Eastern. If memory serves me correctly, I believe that will be the last meeting of the 2024-2025 season between the Maple Leafs and the Golden Knights. Yes, it will be. Last time the Maple Leafs faced the Golden Knights, they beat the Golden Knights 3-0. That was back on November 20th, 2024. Since then, a 5-game winning streak for the Toronto Maple Leafs went into an overtime shootout losing streak, so it's a 1-game losing streak for the Maple Leafs right now. But the Penguins have lost more than the Maple Leafs. They are on a 1-game losing streak, it looks like, but they've actually lost more than you think. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games. So we got to get some big victories by the Penguins. This was game 64, by the way. So that means the Penguins are now down from 19 games to go. We're down to 18 games to go. Just double check here my math. 1 second. Oh, oops, I hit the wrong button there. There we go. 264. Yes, 18 games remaining. Yes, it's 18 games left to go for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Heading into this game, they had 19 games to go, so we got 18 more games and 18 more recaps of the 2024-2025 season. We just might do it, Penguins fans. We just might do it for the second year in a row. We might do it for the second year in a row. We might just do it. But I don't want to jinx it. So that will do it for our shared screen for the time being. Once again, the Penguins fall 4-1. They fall 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have now played in 62 games, and that means they have at least 20 more games to go, but they are done with the Pittsburgh Penguins for the 2024-2025 season. All right. Time now to reveal to you our shake of the game. This is what we call the player of the game segment on Penguins postgame. And for this game, we are going to do one player from each team for the shake of the game, and 3 players will get a game puck of the game running. They will go into the running for the game puck of the game. 3 players will be going into the game puck of the game running. Let's start with our shake of the game, and let's start with the victorious Colorado Avalanche. And just if you're just joining us, just a little brief history. Because the Avalanche beat the Penguins in Pittsburgh 6-2 back in December and picked up the victory yesterday at 4-1 on the home ice in Ball Arena, our venue for the game. They have swept the Pittsburgh Penguins in their season series. The Avalanche shake of the game recipient is going to go to the goaltender, Scott Wedgwood. 32 saves on 33 shots. A goal given up against at even strength. A save percentage of .970 and 60 minutes played. Was a really nice game by Scott Wedgwood. But both he and Alex Nedeljkovic had a really strong first period. They were strong when they needed to be. And did exactly what they had to do when they had to do it. Honorable mentions for the game puck of the game coming up in a matter of moments. After we close out this segment with our shake of the game, we're going to go with Cale Makar, Arturi Lehkonen, and Nathan MacKinnon. Cale Makar, Arturi Lehkonen, and Nathan MacKinnon are the three men in the running for the game puck of the game for the Colorado Avalanche. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, the shake of the game will go to goal scorer Rickard Rakell, along with our recipients for the game puck of the game, those that will go into the running. For this, for the game puck of the game, the Penguin players going into the running are Alex Nedeljkovic, Brian Rust, and he may not have done much, but we're going to go with Vincent Desharnais. Vincent Desharnais, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Brian Rust are in the running for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the game puck of the game. And that comes your way in a minute 30 seconds after this from Broadcast Map and Sienna T Radio, making your day brighter one song at a time. When we return, between Brian Rust, Vincent Desharnais, Alex Nedeljkovic, which of those three Penguins will get the game puck of the game? And between Arturi Lehkonen, Nathan MacKinnon, and Cale Makar, one of those three men will receive the game puck of the game for the Avalanche. Find out who gets it for the Avalanche and who gets it for the Penguins when we return in a minute and 30 seconds on Penguins postgame. And remember, as we conclude on Penguins postgame, it's time to find out what the next 5 matchups for the Penguins and the Avalanche are when we continue on Penguins postgame. As we wrap it up on the other side, stick with us.
What a busy traffic on this Friday evening. I am almost stuck in this traffic for the last 40 minutes. And there is no way, I think, for me to get to the show. The Sienna T Radio Song Bank, which is going to start very shortly. It's one of my favorite shows. And my, what a way to wind down for the weekend. Perfect 2 hours of fun-filled music. And she has so many great features. Sound of Music, Undercover, Foreign Exchange. Name That Tune. And the big wheel that she spins for Who's That or Where Are We? We cannot forget about the international stage. I have never come across such a great show in my life. I think I will have to press hard on my accelerator and go as fast as I can to get home in time. Wow! Wow! Look! I made it! I am almost there! Sienna T. Reid, making your day brighter, one song at a time. Looking for conversations on the world of broadcasting, sports media, and from time to time, my favorite sports teams? Listen to Broadcast Map with me, Ali Musa. To learn more about the show and to view the upcoming schedule, like the Broadcast Map Facebook page. Search Broadcast Map.
Penguins fall 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. They outshot the Avalanche 33-25. They lose the season series 2-0 to the Avalanche. But all that being said, I want to actually take you to a picture that our host of On the Ice and Behind the Bench has sent, not necessarily to me, but he also sent it to one of our parents as well. I want to take you to that. Picture if we can. I think we can. You know what? I'll actually just provide it for you. So this is a look at our 2025 NHL playoffs, if the playoffs started today on March 5th, 2025. So it's not exactly what we would look at as of right now, as we get closer to playoff time anyways. But you would see the Toronto Maple Leafs go head-to-head against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are currently in the first wild card spot. The second wild card spot belongs to the New York Rangers. They would take on the Metropolitan Division leaders in the Washington Capitals. Spots 2 and 3 in the Atlantic would go toe-to-toe, and those are the Lightning and the Panthers. The Hurricanes would take on the Devils as the 2 and 3 Metropolitan Division spots in the Eastern Conference. We got Calgary taking on the Jets. Calgary is the second wildcard spot. The leader in the Central is the Winnipeg Jets. The Edmonton Oilers are second in the Pacific Division. They would take on the Los Angeles Kings. Central Division's spots in second and third are Minnesota and Dallas. And we see the leader in the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights, going toe-to-toe with the Colorado Avalanche. Now, is that exactly what we have as of right now? Let's take a look at our standings, shall we? Yep, that all checks out. Yep, that checks out. The Avalanche and Calgary are in the wild card. And the Rangers and Blue Jackets are in the top wild card spot right now. So it doesn't look too promising for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but we'll talk about it on the Penguins side of things in a little bit more. I don't want to leave the game puck any longer than we have already. So let's get to it. Our recipients, as mentioned in the last recording, on the Avalanche side, it's between Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, and Arturi Lehkonen. And our recipient for the Avalanche is going to go to two-time goal scorer Arturi Lehkonen. Really nice game by Arturi Lehkonen. 2 goals, including an empty net goal after the power play goal. By Casey Middlestat. But still a good game by Nathan MacKinnon, and of course Cale Makar too, picking up assists as well. MacKinnon picked up 2 assists. Makar picking up only 1 assist on the game, but that's okay. For the Penguins, we had Bryan Rust in the running. We also had Vincent Desharnais in the running, and Penguins goaltender Alex Nedeljkovic. Nedeljkovic was in the running, as well as Vincent Desharnais and Bryan Rust, and our recipient of the game puck of the game is going to go to Alex Nedeljkovic. 2 1-1 saves on 23 shots, 2 goals given up, 1 at even strength, 1 on the power play. Played 58 minutes and 34 seconds on the ice. Ends the night with a save percentage of .913. And our Shake of the Game recipient, to make sure we have that for you in case. That went to, on the Penguins side, Penguins goal scorer Ricard Raquel. And on the Avalanche side, it went to goaltender Scott Wedgwood. Game puck of the game for the Avalanche belongs to Arturi Lehkonen. And he has a game puck of the game. With the game puck of the game out of the way, that brings us to next up for the Penguins and next up for the Avalanche. Let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll bring back the Penguins after we go over the Avalanche next 5 games. And Vegas double trouble, Vegas double trouble, Vegas double trouble. The Penguins are on the way to Vegas as we speak. They have 2 days off before they take on the Vegas Golden Knights for the first time in 2024-2025, in the 2024-2025 season. That will be on trade deadline day, Friday, March 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Our coverage of Penguins postgame comes your way Saturday. You might get it before or during Hockey Night in Canada on March 8th, 2025. Penguins back in action in Minneapolis at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. They will take on the Minnesota Wild at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Back at it with the Golden Knights on Tuesday, March 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then the St. Louis Blues come to town next Thursday, March 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, midnight in the UK, and 1 a.m. in France. That's on Thursday night. And we'll wrap up our next 5 with Pittsburgh with the continuation of their 5-game homestand, kicking off with Vegas next Tuesday night, March 11th, 2025. As we move to Saturday, March 15th, at 3 p.m. Eastern, due to a prior commitment on Saturday, March 15th, 2025, Penguins postgame will come your way on Monday, March 17th, 2025. I'm not sure I'll be able to get one to you on the 16th, but we'll get one to you hopefully before the Penguins take on the Islanders. But the Devils take on the Penguins at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and the rest is history for that. That actually will be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. in France, and 7 p.m. in London for the afternoon matinee. So it will be a night game in France and in London, United Kingdom. But we will have it all for you as we go along. Vegas ×2 with Minnesota in between. Then St. Louis and then the Devils are up next for the Penguins. Up next for the Colorado Avalanche. Their 6-game homestand that started at the end of February, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6-game homestand for them. That continues on Thursday, tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, as they host the San Jose Sharks. They will then take on the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday, March 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern, before they battle the Chicago Blackhawks at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday, March 10th, 2025. 9 p.m. Eastern, they will take on the Blackhawks. From there, they take on the Wild on Tuesday night. Yep, that's right, Tuesday night. March 11th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. And on Friday night, next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific time, they take on the Calgary Flames in Calgary to close out a 2-game mini road trip with days off in between. They'll have a 4-game homestand following a 3-game road trip and a 1-day only showdown with the Dallas Stars on March 16th as we get into March break. Can you believe it? We're in March and we're already thinking March break? Well, who said hockey can't happen on March break? As for our Penguins hockey coverage, our hockey coverage of the Penguins continues on Saturday as we recap the game Friday night in Vegas between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's the first game of a 2-game season series set between the Golden Knights and the Penguins. The next game will be in Pittsburgh on March 11th, just a few days after their Sunday afternoon clash against Marc-Andre Fleury and the Minnesota Wild at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, the programming note for the Devils and Penguin game, which is a home game for the Penguins. You can probably see that recording come your way on Monday, March 17th, 2025, excuse me, not 2024, 2025. We are in 2025, not 2024 anymore. March 17th, 2025 is when you'll see the recap of Devils, Penguins. We're not done with the Devils yet, though. One more month of Devils, Penguins hockey. Same can be said for the St. Louis Blues, Dallas Stars, Boston Bruins, and the Washington Capitals. But we will see the last of the New York Islanders, Columbus Blue Jackets, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Buffalo Sabres, as well as Ottawa Senators, before the month of March is up. The Penguins battle from the Sin City in Night Owl action against the Vegas Golden Knights as their 3-game road trip continues. One of their 2 final 3-game road trips of the season. I should say 3 final 3-game road trips of the season. It continues in Vegas on Friday night. I'll be back with you tomorrow for an episode of Sports for Beginners, the podcast. Not only to set up Golden Knights and Penguins, but also set up the upcoming baseball content. And we had some WWE news. And we have some WWE news to get into on the show. So look forward to that tomorrow on Sports for Beginners. Saturday on Sports for Beginners, we got our recap of Penguins versus Golden Knights. That's got to be a good one between the Golden Knights and the Penguins. Reminder, Penguins and Golden Knight fans, we will do it all again. We will do it all again on Tuesday, March 11th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern from inside PPG Paints Arena. But first, we're off to T-Mobile Arena for a Friday night showdown. Night Owl Club, Night Owl Club. I think that's probably one of the last Night Owl Clubs we will have this season, because I'm not sure if the 8 p.m. game will end up, the 8 p.m. game on April 3rd will end up past midnight or so. So I think we're looking at our last Night Owl Club for 2024-2025. But we will see. We'll wait and see how it goes down. One thing's for sure, the Friday game is going to be a Night Owl Club game, and it all gets started on the East Coast at 10 p.m. Eastern. Our coverage of that game comes your way Saturday on Sports for Beginners and Penguins postgame. The Avalanche sweep the Penguins 4-1. In their Tuesday victory, they sweep the Penguins in the season series 2-0. 19 games complete, 18 to go. 64 games complete, I should say, 18 more to go. The numbers keep getting smaller. The opportunity for a first-round pick for the Penguins keeps getting interesting, We're down to 17 games remaining after the Penguins take on the Golden Knights for the first time this season in 2024-2025. For now, my name is Scott McGregor. Thank you so much for joining us here today on the podcast for Sports for Beginners. Would love it if you took a second to rate, review, and share the podcast. Have a great rest of your day. Let's go Pens, and we'll see you next time right here on Penguins Postgame. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Pens. Let's see if we can get a couple more victories or make it better on our draft spot in this year's NHL draft coming up soon. Well, as soon as the season's over, that is. With that said, we'll see you real soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. You've just listened to Pittsburgh Penguins hockey on the Sports for Beginners podcast. To learn more about the show and to view the upcoming schedule, like the Sports for Beginners Facebook page. Search Sports for Beginners or visit the official Sports for Beginners podcast website. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay tuned. And remember that it is not goodbye, it is until next time. And you'd have to be here to believe it.